Hey y'all! Welcome to our podcast, The Pretty Ugly Struggle, hosted by Conni Luv and B.Hall. Each week, sit with us as we discuss viral topics, raising kids, relationships, running businesses, and trying to look good while doing it. The mother effing struggle is real. Hey y'all! Welcome to our podcast, The Pretty Ugly Struggle, hosted by Conni Luv and B.Hall. Each week, sit with us as we discuss viral topics, raising kids, relationships, running businesses, and trying to look good while doing it. The mother effing struggle is real. Hey, y'all! Welcome to another week of The Pretty Ugly Struggle. I'm your girl, B.Hall.
And I'm your girl, Conni Luv.
Yay!
It's another week of The Pretty Ugly Struggle.
How you feeling?
I'm good, honey. I'm good. I'm great.
How was your week? I have to ask, how was your week?
My week was good. What did I do this? Actually, I had a bittersweet week. So let me tell you, I had to go to the hospital. I'm in Canada. I had to go to the hospital because I literally had a migraine out of this world. I suffer from migraines, but this one, I felt like that thing was about to take me out. I was trying to get a flight home so I could go to the doctor, but I couldn't. I went to the airport twice, $150 round trip for me to go to the airport twice, each time. You know what I'm saying? So I paid $75 there the first time, $75.
Oh, Uber.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I was
Ubering. Okay. And then I get there. The first time I didn't make the flight. And then the second, because I literally booked it on my way to the airport. But the second time, they canceled the flight because they didn't have enough people going to the U.S. with all this border stuff going on.
Right.
So I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to go to the doctor here. They supposedly have good health care. I go to the doctor. And they immediately started treating me like I had COVID. Like they secluded me. They put me in the basement. I definitely understand why, but I still couldn't help feeling like a freaking walking virus. And everybody, like the doctor, she's peeking through the door to talk to me. Like this shit.
Wow.
So I can only imagine like people who really have it. How by the way, I got tested. I didn't have it. It was just a really bad migraine.
Well, that's good. You don't have COVID.
Yeah. So that was that. But other than that, I'm good. What about you?
Girl, when you had posted on Instagram that you was in the goddamn basement of the hospital, I was like, girl, because when I had FaceTime you when you were in the bed, the lights were off, and it was like midday, and I was like, that's not like her to be in the bed. And she's like, I'll call you when I get up. I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, okay.
Yes.
Like, I didn't know it was like that.
That thing took me out. Like, I was throwing up. Like, I couldn't open my eyes. It was just horrible. Like,
so migraines, they just come, like, just out of nowhere?
Yeah. Sometimes, and then they're stress-induced. Sometimes my sinuses can trigger them. I have a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury from a deployment. And so ever since then, I've been struggling with them for years.
Gotcha. But my week, I don't really remember my damn week. I don't know what happened this past week.
What kind of week is that when you don't remember?
A busy one. I know I have like every day I've had like 4 and 5 things. Like I in my brain, it kind of gets jumbled. So I have to like map it down. I got to do this. And at this time I got to do this. Like, cause I will go crazy. I will lose my damn mind. So I put myself on a list because my anxiety started getting crazy. And I was like, okay, let me write my stuff down so I can maintain myself. But it was just a busy week. I'll say that. So that's why I went by so fast. And also these girls at my house had me ripping and running. And they get on my goddamn nerves. Y'all see why I don't like kids? Fuck these kids. God damn. And then they went on their first date, y'all.
I heard about this double
triple date.
Oh, yeah, it was a triple date.
It was a triple date skating. So initially, I had the girls at my house, 3 of the girls. And then I took them to a skating rink. Well, in the area that it was very hood. No offense, but it was very hood. And I was like, y'all, I don't know about this. Y'all sit in the car while I go check out this little area because, honey, babe, Oak Cliff, that's my hood.
Put it in your face. Get this shit.
That's what the fuck it was. So when I get out, they had the parking lot blocked off and said sold out. I was like, I don't know if that means the parking lot is sold out or what. So I went up there and I'm immediately greeted by a police officer, huge police officer, a Caucasian man. And he's like, ma'am, are you picking someone up? I was like, no, I was about to drop my girls off. They want to go skating. And he was like, oh, the tickets are completely sold out for today. It was only like 7 or I think it was like 7 o'clock. And he was like, no, the tickets are completely sold out for today. And I was like, okay, well, thank you. And so I go back to the car. I say, y'all can't go today because it's sold out. So then they call the guys they're supposed to be meeting for the date, and they're like, hey, we got to go somewhere. So they're trying to figure out where to go. So then they look up some other skating rink, which is it's like a hole in a wall skating rink. That's what I would call it. Like a little shit ass skating rink. And then we go up there and I go inside to check out that senior again, but it was real cool, real like countrified, you know what I mean? Like some kids and stuff, and it's fine. So I wait outside for them. It was on like an hour left to skate, so I just waited outside for them to have their little date or whatever. And it was fine. They I think they had fun. But they little hour, little 45 minutes.
I heard about it.
What'd your baby say?
She just was like, Mama, I went on a date. And I was like, no, you didn't. You went out with a boy and y'all had fun, but that's not a date.
Group date.
Yeah. And she was like, she explained it to me, and she just said she had a really good time. I was like, did you like the little boy? You know, she was like, it's kind of like a blind date thing. She was kind of like the other wheel or whatever. And she said she had a good time, and I didn't really go too deep into it. You know, she said you were there. Yeah. So I was like,
And I met the guy, my daughter.
Huh? It wasn't a date. She think it's a date, but if you think
why is it a date, Mama?
Because they just went to hang out. Did he pay? Did they have to? So they went hanging out with some friends.
Yeah. Okay.
They were hanging out with some friends.
Because the girls got there before them, so I think it was like $5 to go in. So they paid to go in, and then the guys met them up there.
I mean, I'm not tripping though. They're at that age. Because they just date now.
When can your daughter have like an official like date, like boyfriend? We're dating, like
she can have that now. I don't mind that. Like at 16, like I said
that before I let them go on a date.
Yeah, definitely. But like at 16, I was doing a lot worse. So, and Kalia is extremely responsible, and
I love your baby.
We have a very, very, very open relationship. So she's gonna tell me. I think she would. I hope and pray, but I could put money on it. When she gets to a point where she's ready to be sexually active or get a serious boyfriend, she's gonna approach me first.
Will you put her on birth control?
You know, I actually attempted to put her and my niece on birth control before, like now. I feel like, because even if you think about it and you do decide to take that step, I want you to have some precautions, some measures that I feel like, okay, well, I did this. But she was like, no, I don't want all that. My baby is very sensitive sometimes. She's like, I don't want anything. I don't want to take any medication or put anything in my body that I don't need. And she's like, I'm not sexually active. I'm not planning on being sexually active. So I would prefer not to do that. When I plan on being sexually active, I'm going to come to you. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So I just got to take her word for it.
I never even thought about putting my baby on birth control. I'm like, dang, she's 17. I got to start thinking about.
No, I had to think about it because I had my son at 16. You get what I'm saying? And my mom had me on birth control to regulate my cycle, but I was immature, irresponsible, not taking it on time, not taking it seriously. Second time I have sex, boom, I'm pregnant. So I just and I've told them all that story. Like, listen, it could be you, because I never thought it would be me, you know? So.
I think I will go ahead and make an appointment. I can't deal. I can barely raise kids. Don't want the goddamn grandkids. I'm too young for that. No. No, ma'am.
Why you tell me my forehead look big? just shine.
You're looking at the same thing I'm looking at. What the hell? Pull your head down some.
When I pull it down, it made me look okay. Okay.
Yeah, I like
it. Better. That's better. Okay.
So what else is going on? I see you have Davion. What's going on with Davion?
I never talk about my 19-year-old. He is he's doing well. The thing that we're struggling with right now is he owes the Morehouse, and Morehouse sent out their tuition bill. And he's not staying on campus this year, but they sent a $15,000 tuition bill. My thing is this. why does tuition cost the same as it did pre-COVID? Because pre-COVID, he's paying for all these different amenities. So I understand it's a private university, it's very expensive. But why are you charging him lab fees? Why are you charging him computer fees?
So they cannot go on campus this
well,
semester?
Well, what they're trying to do, what they're proposing right now is that the priority is for freshmen because they want them to get the college experience. Some classes might be held on campus, but it'll be like a first come, first serve type thing.
For freshmen only? Or?
For like all grade levels.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So for all undergrads, so it was kind of gonna be like a first come first serve type thing, you know. So like if 20 people can be seated in the class, you can go, and if you're the first 20, you get to go to class. Other than that, you're gonna have to stream it online. So to me, what it looks like, and majority of his classes, and from what I looked at his schedule, I think they are all online except for one. So I just feel like the tuition should not be the same. You know what I mean? Like we're in a pandemic, so why are we he luckily has scholarships that are going to take care of that tuition, but what about the parents who don't? And now you're making these kids take out student loans for at-home school. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like when I went to college online, my tuition was barely $7,000.
Okay, I think mine was $50 an hour or something.
Yeah, so why are we paying like the same thing that you would be paying if I was privileged to have those amenities that are on campus?
So what we need to do? We need to protest. We need to write a letter. What we need to do?
You know, I wrote 50 million emails. I'm like, I know y'all got some COVID relief funds, all types of shit
out, honey.
Y'all should not be charging these boys, these young men, that same amount. You know, you're gonna force people to have to drop out. You are already facing a whole bunch of nonsense, and people are already reevaluating if college is even the route to go right now because of where the world is. So why are you even doing something else that's going to entice that decision for them to be like, this ain't worth it?
This ain't worth it.
You know, there's no reason he should have to pay $30,000 for a school year for taking classes online. You get what I'm saying? If you're talking about $15,000 per semester, that's fucking crazy. Excuse my language.
Insanity.
Excuse my language. So
they have to fix that.
You know, so HBCUs, y'all better get this together. You know,
get it together,
girl. But yeah, that's him. That's my 19-year-old. And
what about the baby? First off, I have your baby at my house again, which I love him. And at first he wasn't going to stay, but Brian was like, yeah, he going to stay tonight. My brother, Brian. My brother is her ex-husband and the father of her child, the baby boy. And he brought the baby to the house last night, so he stayed in bed with me. But that baby was flipping all over that damn.
So bad.
I had to readjust him like 8 times, and then after that, when he just laid on my chest, I said, "Fuck it, I just ain't gonna sleep. He can sleep well, and I sleep when I die." Shit. He wasn't having it.
Girl, he sleeps so freaking bad. Like,
he's so cute.
Gosh.
I sent you up him. He's so cute. Just the back of his head, but still.
Girl, I miss them so much. They're the reason I'm ready to get back to the United
States. I asked Brian what was wrong. Where was his cast at on his leg? He's like, ain't nothing wrong with that boy.
He woke up and he was limping and telling his dad that his leg hurts really, really bad. And so his dad is super overprotective, and he always thinking something happens horrible, like, well, he was only out of my eyesight for 2 minutes or something. So I was like, well, shit. No, we got insurance. Just go take him to the emergency room, make sure everything's okay. And he went, and they told him that they thought he had a acute fracture, which is common in kids his age. So you can't really see it, but so through the x-rays, but it still could be a small fracture, and it'll show up later. So they put a splint on his leg. And then when he went back yesterday for his follow-up, they're like, no, they don't see a fracture, but they thought they saw a little bit of inflammation in his hips from when he had strep throat. And they said that was common. Something I never knew. That
I have never heard that before.
It's like they'll start having inflammation in their hips when they constantly get little colds and viruses. Okay, we just spending that time on them children.
Fuck the kids now. What you want to talk about? Okay, get the kids out the way. Okay, kids come first. Y'all see the kids come first, right?
kids, girl. I'm over here working for them kids, honey.
Okay, slaving for the man for these kids.
But that's also one of the struggles, though. So this is I'm gonna tell y'all my pretty ugly struggle right now. This is my pretty ugly struggle of the week. I come on here even smiling every week. I'm in Canada. I'm loving it. This is my second time being here, but I'm enjoying it. But I work 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think I've been here for a little over a month and a half, and I've only had 2 days off. I'm away from my children. I also have another business that I'm still running and in the process of starting another business. And I'm trying to do this podcast. And I'm trying to keep a boo thing. And it's just all a lot to deal with. And you don't even realize, like, and that might have been why I caught that migraine like that. Like my body just starting to shut down, stress and just getting tired. You know what I mean? So it's just.
That's why I need you to come home.
Girl, I'm coming.
We need you to come home.
But it's just part of that struggle. You know how many mothers doing that? You know, I got another lady here that her baby's 18 months old, you know, and she's hard. It's just hard. It's hard. We have to make the decisions. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Because the plan was that we were going to bring our families, but they shut the border down.
Okay.
You know, so, and then this is a temporary assignment. It's not something that's long-term. So everybody's thinking like, oh, I'll bring my baby next week, you know, and depending on how long we're here. But now that the border is shut down, it's a different scenario.
Situation. Mm-hmm. What we got on the list? What's on the docket?
I guess since we're talking about COVID, what's next, honey? What we got? Let me go to the notes here. I guess since we're talking about COVID, let's talk about Donald Trump and Herman Cain. Like, you know that he died of COVID, right? So I thought
it was a hoax. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was a hoax when they said that he died from COVID.
Why did you think that?
I don't know. I just be like, because there be a lot of fake shit out there, and I'd be like, okay, they're just joking. They just saying because he was so against masks, now he didn't die from COVID. I was like, no, that's not true. But then I was like reading on everything, on every blog, everywhere. I was like, okay, it's real.
Yeah. Herman Cain is very well respected for his business practices, and he's a smart man. But obviously, him and Donald Trump, they thought they knew better than the scientists. You know what I mean? So they kept saying, no mask, no mask, no mask. And then it's very ironic that now this man loses his life due to COVID because he wasn't wearing no damn mask. You know what I mean? So it's like, y'all, wear your mask.
Some people feel like the mask won't save them though anyways. Like,
why?
That's just their opinion. It's like,
so that's like saying
control.
That's like saying, okay, if I have sex with a condom, it might not. I still can probably get an STD if the condom breaks, but you still are going to use a preventative measure just in case, right?
Just in case.
That would be the smart thing to do. Use a preventative measure. That's all the mask is. Even if it does not cure you or save you, or you still can get it, at least you have one layer of a preventative measurement that you took to not get COVID, because the shit is real. COVID is real. COVID is definitely real.
Oh, he passed. Oh my gosh. So he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also like a lot of shit out there saying like people are falsifying documents saying that you passed from COVID, even if it wasn't COVID.
I'm sure that is probably going on, because I think the hospitals that I read somewhere that if a hospital treats a person with COVID or something like that, or they're getting bonuses based off of how many COVID cases that they have. So I'm sure somebody's falsifying some documents. I mean, it wouldn't be America if we didn't do it that way. You know what I mean? So, but even if the numbers are inflated, people are still dying. You know what I mean? So, and I've had somebody close to me that actually has battled with COVID, and I saw the effect firsthand.
But you already believed it before then, though, right?
Yeah, I already believed that.
But it made it hit home.
Yeah, it did. I mean, when it was that close to home, it was like, oh. And this person, and he took preventative measures all the time. Yeah. He always wear his mask. He barely goes outside, you know, like he not big kicking it, and still got it. You know what I mean? So, but I still just say, wear your freaking mask, people. Wear your mask.
Did you hear their new thing now that excuse me, I got a burp. I don't know how to burp. That the sanitizer we're using isn't, most of it is not efficient.
I've heard that from the beginning. But
Yeah.
listen, ain't nothing wrong with using those sanitizer anyway. If it doesn't work, it's gonna fight off some goddamn germs.
A few of them.
It might not work for COVID, but it's gonna work for them boogers and that snotty ass nose. And
girl, me and my friend had got some pizza the other day, and he just dug right in the car, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I have to wash my hands." He's like, "That's sanitizer right there." I was like, "I'm sorry, I just don't feel comfortable just using sanitizer."
But see, I am not a germaphobe. I have eaten in some of the dirtiest places ever. Probably done ate a little dirt trying to eat an MRE or some shit. But I still.
Your immune system is like, ugh.
So I might be one of the people that be like, give me that sanitizer. I don't feel like washing my hands.
Yeah.
I'm so nasty.
Go in and let
yeah.
Go in and let have.
But anyway, talking about, again, still the presidents. So how do you feel about Biden possibly picking a Black woman for president? I mean, excuse me, for vice president.
I feel that it's needed. We've been saying this probably since last year, early last year, that whoever is the Democratic elective or whatever needs to select a Black woman.
You think he does?
Do I think he does? Like to see it. I'm gonna say I would like to see it. I don't want to see another white man as his running mate or whatever. Me personally, it would be great to see a Black woman. I would absolutely fucking love that. Is it needed?
Well, he's saying he's definitely going to pick a woman, so it's gonna be a female.
Yeah.
And I think he has like a list of maybe 8 women, and I think out of those 8, 4 of them are Black. So it's very likely that it will be a Black female president.
I'm sorry, I went live and someone just said Joe Biden is a pedophile. Just saying.
I mean, listen, but he possibly can be our next president. And the thing is this, I try not to bring up people's past when, like, you have to stop. You got to be able to, can you hear me? Because I can't hear myself. You have to be able to isolate the past from the present. You know what I mean? Sometimes. And in our predicament, we either got Biden or what's his name? Trump. And I don't want Trump. So your next bet is Biden. And that's why it's very important that we know who the vice president is going to be, because you got to think about this. Biden is like 70 years old. So he old as hell. And we are in a pandemic where COVID is taking them old people out.
I just want to know, how did we get here? How the fuck did we get here? These are only 2 options.
Well, yeah, those are the best
I'm
right now.
I'm so upset. What about Kanye West?
Girl, I'm not even. I purposely didn't even speak on him because I think it's unnecessary, and all he's gonna do is him playing with us is gonna make Trump president again. You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm not even I don't vote parties. I vote interest, and I'm not even the biggest Trump fan. I'm not a Trump fan of him as a person, but some of his policies and things I do agree with. Yeah. But as far as Biden and the next female vice president, Biden is old. Again, like I was saying, COVID is taking old people out. So he got to be well protected in that area. And then it will be unlikely that he would serve another term. So at that age, because he'd be like 74 by then, you know? So it's possible that the next person who's going to serve the 4-year term, the next person would be the vice president who was in the current term. So we need to really focus on who that's going to be. I think that's just, and I normally don't give it to him, but in this situation, who the vice president is.
Oh, okay.
But in this situation, I think it's extremely important. So y'all make sure y'all go out and vote. Vote for somebody. Vote for somebody. I ain't gonna tell you who to vote for, but vote for somebody. You know. But out of them, my favorite, if I had to pick one of those females, Kamala Harris is one of my top contenders, which is I think that her voice has been heard a little bit more than all the other females that are being considered. I actually am an Elizabeth Warren fan, but I think a Black woman is necessary for the Black vote to keep Black people interested in voting. If he gets another white person, because we're already like, dude, we really don't want you. You know, like a lot of us are like, you ain't the best candidate. So we need somebody that we believe in. And so I like her. And then I like
I would be people gonna hate me if I say that. I don't know if I want to say that. I just need Trump to sign that Heroes Act. Is that what it's called? The Heroes and the
I think the Republican is the HEALS Act,
okay.
And then the Democrats are doing the Heroes Act. I think that's what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just think that the people need that extra 6 on the goddamn check. Okay. And I feel like the essential workers need that. What was it, 5,000 or 10,000, whatever. They need that extra money. They deserve that extra money.
So you think that the people so you think that we should still be giving people $600 extra a month on top of their unemployment?
A week.
Yeah. You think that we should still be doing that?
Absolutely.
But you don't feel like what Trump's argument is kind of valid. If you keep paying people $600 extra a week, a lot of people are making more money staying at home versus going back to work, which reduces their entice to go back to work. Their motivation is gone to go back to work.
But a lot of these people cannot go back to work because of the industry that they're in.
So that's understandable. If your industry is shut down and you can't go back to work, that's understandable. So they're not taking it away. What they're saying is, instead of giving everybody a $600, the HEALS Act says, instead of giving everybody $600 extra, what we're going to do is give them $200 extra. And then after that, when that funding runs out, then the state will be responsible for paying them up to 70% of their normal income. Which is fair, but they're also saying, hey, I'm going to, even if you do go back to work, we're going to give you $450 on top of the paycheck that you receive from work.
Okay.
So it's like a back to work incentive. You know what I mean?
I can
so that argument, which I prefer to stick with, I ain't unemployed no more, but if I was unemployed, I would prefer, of course, the $600 if I could sit home and make more money than I made going to work. I would definitely, but I do
see the logic in that business wise.
Yes, in order to get the economy start back going, give them incentives. And there's a lot of other little things that those acts address as well. Like they're talking about doing another small business, a PPP loan and EIDL loan funding, so you can get a second loan if you're a small business, you know. So you just got to figure. That's why I say you got to do some research and read and know vote your interest, not your party. That's my stance. Like vote your interest,
not your party. Hashtag.
Go actually read about these people that we trying to put in presidency and what they stand for and some of their policies.
Speaking of what people stand for, do you want to hop into Mr. Jonathan Isaac? You know, the NBA started up about a week ago, I think now.
How do you know sports coming back? How do you? Because you're a sports.
First off, I am a sports fanatic. Like, I played all sports when I was in high school, and even after high school, I still played some volleyball here and there and stuff like that. And my first love is basketball, but after I couldn't play it no more, I kind of went over to football. But now that sports is back and they're in the bubble, I think the bubble is cool. Like the way that they have it real, like structured, you know what I'm saying? Everything out and in is real, like clean, and, you know, it's real. What's the word for it? I can't think of it. Anyways, I like that they have the bubble for everybody. Also, with taking a stance, I love that all the players, the coaches, they're all on their knee. They have their Black Lives Matter on. I think it unifies the NBA to me. So when I saw this young Black man standing when everyone else in the arena or in the bubble was kneeling, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then he's standing, he don't even have the Black Lives Matter shirt on. And I was just like, so I had to go find out who this young man was. So, okay, we're going to have a clip. You want to play the clip now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Play the clip of Mr. Isaac during his press conference.
So you didn't kneel during the anthem, but you also didn't wear a Black Lives Matter shirt. Do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
Absolutely. I believe that Black Lives Matter. A lot went into my decision, and part of it is, first off, it's my thought that, kneeling or wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt don't go hand in hand with supporting Black lives. And so I felt like, just me personally, what it is that I believe in, standing on the stance that I do believe that Black Lives Matter, but
Okay.
You had enough?
Yeah. First of all, you talking in circles, young man. You know what I mean? So what does kneeling, because I know he goes on to say some things about his faith and believing in Jesus Christ. What does standing up for what you believe in and taking and protesting, what does that have to do with the Bible and your religion? That's what I'm trying to, because that also brings me back.
Because he was kind of saying like everybody makes mistakes type thing, and I was just like,
no.
He threw me for a loop.
So that's the thing. We get lost in what the message actually is.
Amen.
Actually, Black Lives Matter. We're protesting against police brutality. It's nothing bigger than that, and we're standing in solidarity. Like what more do you need? Why do you feel like you need it to be different? Like as a Black man, like. I was
One of my friends brought up a good point that he's not American Black. Like he has some, like his parents are from Africa or something. So he didn't grow up knowing what slavery was here in the States and what racism was here in the States. So it may be a little bit different for him. And
I can see that. I definitely can see that. But however, no. In the States, you're still a Black man before you're an African man, because they see the color of your skin before they hear your accent, and they look at you like they look at me. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes, I hate speaking on other cultures, but sometimes from my experience, like African culture, they do have a different sense of pride from being completely full-bred African than they look at an African American person. So they kind of look at us like we're whitewashed. We have no culture, which is very true. We have no culture because it was taken from us, It was taken from us. But so that's, I hear that argument, but that makes no freaking sense. You're still a Black man. You know what I mean? So,
but I'm like, maybe he doesn't understand it. Maybe he has to need someone to explain it to him exactly what we're fighting for, what we're kneeling for as a unit. Like,
listen, I'm tired of explaining.
But you don't even have to explain, because that same game that he played in that day, take it off, bitch. Bend over, let me see it. Okay.
I had to turn the air off because I didn't want it to get the sounds in. Now I'm hot as hell. Because y'all literally, I'm here on my lunch break. That's how hard your girl out here grinding.
Hey.
As soon as I hang up this, I gotta go back to work. That's why I keep checking my phone, because they looking for me. So anyway, go ahead.
Okay, let's speed this shit up. In the game that he played, the brother tore his AC.
I think you said that. You talk about that's them ancestors getting mad.
Snatch that goddamn knee right from under him. Yes, I do believe it. Because nobody really was touching him or anything when it happened. I saw the clip and I was just like, I can't believe this.
He just fell. He just fell. I haven't seen the clip yet.
You have got to go watch it.
He just fell. Like,
girl, he was trying to make a cut to the rim to go score or whatever, and the ancestors said, "Not today, bitch. Not today." It's not funny, and I'm sorry that man got hurt, but it's just like karma is a bitch, and hey, you got to stand with your people.
Yeah,
you got to stand with your people. I'm saying, if you had more questions to have, needed one of those elders to explain some shit to you, okay, like, can you explain to me why we kneeling? Do that instead of doing what the fuck you did. You know what I'm saying? That was just disgusting to me. But I am glad that sports is back. And I don't know how football's going to go. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm excited, though. I'm a Steelers fan, y'all. And I'm excited to see if it's going to come back and if I can go to a game or two with my mask on. We'll see. We'll see.
What else is new?
Let's hop into Conni's Culture Corner. You want to hop into
a new little segment? What? This is...
Uh-oh, we lost you. We lost you.
What about now?
We lost you. I can't hear you. Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
What about now? I'm sorry. This is going to be like two things in one, I'm telling you, because, okay, y'all. So first of all, we got some advice that maybe we should do a culture corner. So it's going to be called Connie's Culture Corner. We're going to feature it. So what I'll be doing is just introducing something about the culture, every week until I figure this thing out, how we actually going to do it. So my culture corner this week, though, is also going to be our pretty girl of the week. And y'all might be mad, but we're going to talk about Beyonce.
Why people gonna be mad? You know they love Beyonce.
Girl, Beyonce is my pretty girl of the month, honey, because
she's so
did
needed
you watch,
for the culture.
like, first of all, did you watch Black?
No.
Okay, so it was amazing.
Okay.
I was getting mixed reviews on it at first, but
for yourself or from others?
From others. So what I decided to do, I was like, I'm gonna listen to the album before I watch it, because I'm a visual person and I like visual stuff. So it'll make me like the songs more than I actually really did, because the videos are so dope. Mm-hmm. So what I did actually was I listened to it and I'm like, hell no, I like this music. You know, the songs, she uses a lot of African artists. She's using beats. It's everything just make you want to move, and then every song is so empowering if you're actually listening to the words. You know, and so then I went and watched the actual movie. Well, when I first even heard of the title, it made me think about, I liked it from the beginning because it made me think about, like, really in the South, you know, that they used to say cotton is king. You know what I mean? And I think it was a company out of Memphis where that produced like most of the cotton or something, like, you know, turned it into whatever it needed to be. Mm-hmm. And they were called King Cotton.
Okay.
So when I heard that name, like Black is King, to me it played on cotton is king, because they said cotton was king because cotton is basically what allowed America to be
country.
Exactly. Free labor with cotton for, you know, it allowed this country to be what it is. So for her
to still want my reparations, god damn it. Go ahead.
So for her to flip that name like that, I was already intrigued. You know what I'm saying? So then she goes to, now I'm watching it, and she plays, first of all, it's like a modern day musical with so much African heritage and rituals in it. The shit is just
to be so Black moment.
Dope. Yes. And not only does it makes you proud to be Black, it also makes you think about and appreciate your ancestors, and it makes you want to know more about your heritage. You get what I'm saying? Because she's educating you in so many subliminal ways, you know, and she even uses a lot of religious metaphors. So I just felt like when you can include heritage, religion, and one of the most famous
artistry,
that you're utilizing the Lion King. Everybody knows about the Lion King. You use Disney, you know what I mean?
Bring
and you created, and it was so much fashion, music, and it all made sense. Like, it made me think about so much stuff. Like, and I was like, damn, and it got me to researching, and I think that was perfect for the culture. It should have, and even though there were some critics, like you had No Name again. You remember No Name when we talked about her?
Oh yeah, I know No Name.
Well, now she's saying that Beyonce is pretty much playing on the African culture, but she's not giving back. And I'm like, you don't know what that woman giving back, for one.
Right.
And number two, to me, highlighting the good side of the African culture is giving back.
Yeah.
On the platform that you utilize, you know, and the way she did it was so elegant, so beautiful, that, you know what I'm saying? It was just, it was great. So,
and everybody's
always gonna have
everybody's part is different.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be donating money, you know what I'm saying, or protesting, you know, on the front line.
It her way. Yeah.
Everybody has their way of contributing to this whole fight that we have, you know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with No Name on that one, and I
Not at
really
all.
rock
And it's
with
like
her.
you just are you just trying to go against the grain? Because first you got mad at J. Cole and then because you said they weren't speaking up. And then Beyonce uses her platform to speak up in the way she spoke up. And now you're saying she's appropriating the African culture, which that's not.
Ooh,
We should be
girl.
able to, because we do come from an African heritage. We just don't know as much as we would like to know about it. But she's getting us back in tune with it.
Girl.
Just
Okay, No Name.
please
That's enough
people.
out of you. What
But
else for
yeah.
the culture corner? Oh, we already talked about the
Yeah,
NBA.
that's pretty much all I really had. I just wanted to say, Beyonce, we appreciate you for the culture, honey. Black is King is dope. If you haven't watched it, don't just watch it for the visuals. Actually look into some of the hidden messages, and I think that you'll enjoy it even more. That's all I got, honey. So again, she's our pretty girl of the week as well, okay?
Beyonce. Okay, cool.
Beyonce Giselle Knowles is our pretty girl.
Okay. She is a big Beyonce fan, y'all.
Girl,
She go to all her concerts.
I am. And I didn't used to be growing up, but I definitely have become a fan.
She's much needed for the culture. She's much
Very
needed.
much so. What you got, honey?
Skip into our other new segment that we have. It's called B's Bit of Business. I'm B, and this is the bit of business. In the podcast world, we have Joe Rogan, who is just phenomenal. Like, he got that contract with Spotify and is really just changing some things. And he has decided, he's California based, and he has decided to pick up and move his family and his show to Dallas, Texas, here where we're based at, actually. And I was just like, at first I was like, why would you want to move to Dallas? Because a lot of people were like with the like NFL and NBA, they never want to come to Dallas, really. Like, you got to pay them a lot to come to Dallas. People think this is like really slow here or whatever. But one great thing about Texas is we don't have a state tax, unlike California, where Joe Rogan is based at. So he said with all that $100 million plus, he gonna come to Texas, honey.
And not pay no state taxes. You talking about some business, honey?
Baby,
that is some good business right there.
That is smart business right there. Okay. So I'm like, I wonder if more people are going to follow that. People moving from New York now that we really can't just go out and experience shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that type of stuff. Like, will people start branching out and going to different states now that don't have state tax? Because it's super expensive in California, it's super expensive in New York to even just live. You have a little corner, probably the size of this room, and you're paying $4,000 for it with 4 other roommates.
Well, a lot of people already do that because that's one of the reasons a lot of people buy property in Florida. They don't have state taxes. So a lot of people own homes there that are from like states in New York.
Definitely.
So they can have vacation homes in Florida and things like that. And then they end up retiring, moving there. So I think people were already doing that for the state tax benefit. I did it. I still keep a home address in Texas. All my businesses are registered in the state of Texas, even for that reason. Financially, it just makes more sense to employ my people out of a state that doesn't have state taxes versus, in Georgia, I'll be paying taxes out the kazoo. So I'm
wondering if more people will start moving here. I'm wondering how that would change the podcast, where he will be shooting from his home or whatever. But I wonder if other people will start to migrate here because he made that big move, and people it'll start looking more like a
migrate, because what he's doing doesn't take a lot of employing, and then all that is a flight.
And they haven't said if he's going to move his family, his team here, because he has a team of guys that work for him and shit. So
I don't see it like bringing any. You might be able to get hosts for like podcasts and parties and guests and stuff like that, because now somebody has a reason to fly into town to see Joe Rogan. You'll get bigger names, but I don't see it really bringing people here to really just live here, like other artists or anything like that, to just live here. I don't see it doing that. But a lot of people are, well, I'm saying here, a lot of people are big fans of Dallas. Like, people like Texas. People definitely like Texas. So
I think it will. I think with him, like maybe just open people's eyes to what actually, big business people already know what the fuck going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But maybe the people like, who was it? Andrew Schultz from the Brilliant Idiots was talking about it. He was like, if I didn't have this studio here, I'd fucking do it too. I moved down there with no state tax. You know what I'm saying? So it may open the eyes to some other people doing some things and moving down or to a tax-free I'm gonna say tax-free, but where we don't have a state tax or whatever, for your money. So you keep your money in your pocket. That's your money. You earned it. Keep your money in your pocket.
Right. Beat the system, honey. Beat the
So
system.
that's my little bit of business for today's episode.
All righty. What else we got? We didn't talk about no relationship stuff.
You want to get into the messy shit?
Let's get into the messy stuff. Listen, y'all, I call it messy with a message, honey, because I like to do a little bit of gossiping, but I ain't staying on the gossip. That just introduces the real subject, you know. But what I wanted to talk about was I watched what is it called? Marriage Boot Camp, the hip hop edition.
Do you always watch it, or is it your first season?
No, I always watch it. If it has, I always watch it.
Okay.
It's sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's like these people really doing this in their relationship. But I don't like, I'm not an avid watcher where I watch every episode, but I'll get on Facebook and watch an episode here and there. So when I saw the clip of what's his name, Vado, like jumping at Tahiri, I was like, I can't immediately take, first of all, he's wrong. You know what I mean? Right. So let me go back. So if you don't watch Marriage Boot Camp, basically it's couples on this show. And they're usually hip hop couples and they're trying to fix their relationship so they go on the show. So it's Tahiri and Vado that are on the show, and he jumps up and they get into it, and the clip just shows him like snatching her up by her collar. So I watched the actual whole episode, and on the whole episode though, she's like being a brat.
At him.
She at him the whole time. Like
she threw some goddamn apples at him and
she
shit.
Threw apples at him. She's shocking him for no reason. She stopped playing the game. She took her stuff off, but shocking him. It was just like what was it? To explain the shock thing? So on the show, everybody has like a shock vest or something. Everybody has this little shock thing on. I don't know if it was a vest. I can't remember. But everybody has this thing. So if the person that you're with, if they do something that you don't like, you had to list these 3 things. They had these 3 things that they don't like. Your triggers, or like, one of hers was rolling eyes. Vado doesn't like when she rolls her eyes, and she kept rolling her eyes. He wasn't even so she doesn't know what it is. Those 3 things are. Okay. She just knows like, oh, he's shocking me. At first, she kept doing everything like hers were on the list. Like hers were like yelling and rolling eyes and something else. He wasn't even shocking her. Even though she was doing it. Okay. But she started shocking him. Like every time he did was on her list. Yes. Okay. And so she was like, you're just shocking me out of spite. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm shocking you because you're doing these things. And she's like, no, you're not. And so she owned him and she take her stuff off. She's like, I'm not doing this anymore. Whatever. And then she hits him with these apples and she's just talking so much shit to the brother the whole time. Toxic. She is fucking toxic. And I'm then I haven't even watched it. And then so now they're at this thing. They're at the little meeting, and then in the meeting, they ask her like, "What do you feel?" or whatever, and she immediately takes no responsibility. And I think that's what pissed him off. Because she's sitting there answering this question like she did no wrong. And he was already pissed because she just hit him with the apples. You know what I'm saying? And not like a love tap. She's like through them bad boys. Like she was dang on. She was pitching for the See, on the shade, I saw it on the shade room. The shade room just showed his reaction to her. Yeah. That's the first thing I saw was him jacking her up, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. And then I went and watched some other clips. I didn't watch the whole show, but some other clips, and I saw what preceded that happening or whatever. Not justifying anything that he did, because nobody should be fucking putting their hands on nobody. Okay. Yeah. I think we just expect men to have more self-control than women, because we're emotional. Because I'm guilty of that. Like I done went off, and then when he go back off, I'm like, what are you doing? You know, like what? You talking to me like that? Yeah. So I think that for me, it was like, we just got to learn how to, at this age, we need to learn how to communicate. You know what I mean? Like, we have to learn how to speak to one another in empowering and in uplifting ways, even when we disagree.
I think women, we need to understand that we can be freaking toxic. You know what I'm saying? And we can provoke, and men have triggers just like we do. And I know that I've known my ex's triggers, and there would be some times when I'm pissed off and I'm going to poke at you.
Don't poke at you, yeah.
Because I know it. Like one of my ex's things was he just needed love from me, and I would withhold my love whenever I wanted to.
Just to get under his shoulder.
Just whenever I wanted to. Just to piss him off, just to make him upset, ruin his motherfucking day. I didn't care. I was like, you didn't do what I wanted? Fix your ass.
And
that's toxic.
It's very toxic.
Yeah.
It's very toxic.
It's
but we
not
put
cool.
so much responsibility on the man to be able to handle our emotions and his own. And I think that's not fair. I think it's not fair at all. And that's part of us protecting our Black men. Don't make him handle your shit and his shit. Like, you can't cuss him out and treat him horrible and hit him and then expect him not to react. Yes, I still do tell him as a man, hey, you have to be able to, you should have removed yourself from the situation when it got that bad. But I had to ask myself,
some women won't even allow that. Some women are still at you trying to walk out that door.
Yeah.
And some women are still pushing you and shoving you, and you a bitch and you a this and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Honey, we get at dudes just as much, hell, if not more, probably more, hell. If I can say that.
So
we be like, they ain't gonna hit us. We be thinking like, they ain't gonna hit us back, or they ain't gonna do this, they ain't gonna do that. We know in the back of our head they're not gonna hit us. So we kind of be going at them. In my 20s, y'all. I don't do that shit no more, honey. No.
So after watching that, I'm not gonna say I don't have any remorse for her, but no, because I'm telling you, I got a son, and I'm gonna tell my son to walk away. But I'm also gonna tell that girl, I'm gonna send my daughter over there to whoop your ass if you don't keep your hands off my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you don't get to hit people and not get hit back. It's just teaching you that early.
Yourselves, ladies.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourselves. Like, honestly, like that's just not cool.
Yeah.
What about the other person, the other couple on the show?
It's Phaedra and her dude are on there, but I ain't really getting
the Willie guy.
Oh, Willie. Yeah, Willie from Day 26, and I think his wife's name is Chandra or something. They were on Love and Hip Hop in LA or something like that. And he was cheating on her on that episode, on those seasons.
I remember that. And she had a fight with that girl he was cheating with.
And he's cheating on, so that's pretty much what they're in the house about, his cheating. So she asked him the question on the same episode, like, how many people have you cheated on me with? In total.
Over the course of the marriage or recently?
Yes, over the course of the marriage.
Okay.
And he said 12. And she was like, and I'm trying to fix this shit. Like, what am I doing? Like,
how many children do they have? Is it like 3?
I think it's 2.
Just had a new one.
I don't know. So, but yeah, so she's like, yeah, he said 12. And she's like, what is that, 1 every year for the marriage? You know what I'm saying? Because they've been married 12 years. And as a woman, I wonder,
were they long affairs or were they just like hit it, quit it, one nighters? I be wondering that kind of shit.
Does it matter? Does it make a difference for you?
I guess for me, I think I'm treating it in a different way. Like, yeah. So
I think it's all cheating.
Affairs, it is cheating, but like affair just would really hurt me way more. That's a whole relationship you have. If you just one night out with your boys and get some head or something, it's cheating, but I'm not gonna be as hurt by it. I ain't gonna be as hurt by it or whatever. But you had a long term, y'all going on dates and shit.
She thinks she's your girlfriend and
hello.
Yeah.
And we whole life married over here. I'm taking her these kids at the house, and you out there just doing what the fuck you want to do. Oh, okay, bitch.
Are you leaving? Or are you trying to make it worse?
Oh, no, I'm out. I don't trust you no more. Trust is love for me. Love is trust for me. Like, if I don't trust you no more, I don't respect you.
Yeah. But she it's not like she found out like about each woman 12 times. She's just finding out now. Like, you cheated on me 12 times in 12 years.
Thank you for telling me, baby. I appreciate you for that. Continue to be a father to our children as I move all of our shit out of this house. Thank you. And good night. I want to say ho.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't even tell you what I would do. Yeah. I can't say that I would be like, deuces out, because at this point we're past that. What's done is done.
How you know he's
stayed.
still not doing it? He said he not cheating no more? Like,
Yeah, that's the reason
cheating.
that they're there. It's because he's like, I'm not cheating anymore, and we need to get our trust back. He's saying basically the opportunity.
He'll be good for about 6 months.
The opportunity was there back then, and he was young, and they were fresh and newly married.
Oh, when was the last time he cheated? Did he say it?
No, he didn't say.
Oh, okay.
He didn't say.
If it was all like in the first few years and shit like that, but if any of them were recent, no. But when you're young,
of course, yeah, because that means you're going to continue to do it. So
yes,
yeah.
And I think you just be good. I be feeling like dudes be thinking they like have more willpower than they really do. They be like, no, like I got a good woman, I got my kids, I got my career, like we got this home and businesses together. It's like, no, I'm gonna be good for my woman. I think that will be good for a time, but not for the majority. I mean, not for the rest of their marriage. I think that they.
What about women? What about women?
Well, we're just talking about the guy right now, him with his 12 women, like, you know. So with that being said, I just think that eventually you're going to go back to the bullshit. You're going to go back to the bullshit. That's just how I feel about that situation. Women, the same. If you have been cheating and all of a sudden you're like, I want to be good because it's the same thing to me. You're going to go back and find you some new dick. Eventually.
I think that we all have the ability to change. And I think that sometimes that we are in situations that we're not ready for. So we our actions reflect where we are at that time. Yeah, I thought I was ready to be committed and married to you. And so that's why I did it. But now that I'm in it, I'm realizing like I really wasn't ready. I'm only 22 years old, and it's a lot of shit out there in life, and I'm fucking up.
That's what I'm saying. I understand that.
But 5 years later, you're like, you know what? I don't. This ain't worth me the pain that I'm causing you.
When was the last time you cheated, and have you really changed? Yeah. People can change. But I also be feeling like sometimes, like if my husband cheated 6 months ago and had been cheating our whole 6-year marriage, and he's like, okay, for 6 months, I haven't been cheating on you. It's like, okay, cool. You haven't been cheating for 6 months. But then if I take you back and you don't have no fucking consequences of it, I think eventually be like, well, I got to wait for 6 years. Listen, I got to wait for 6 years.
Let me tell you
something. Time?
Let me tell you what Tony Braxton mama say. If you ain't ready to do nothing about it, let that man cheat in peace.
Cheat in peace, bitch.
Don't be looking and asking them questions that's gonna hurt your feelings and then put you in a compromising situation.
Ignorance is bliss.
You ain't ready for. You're gonna be trying to make a decision based off some actions that happened 5 years ago, and you ain't ready to make that decision. Don't ask them kind of questions. I don't ask shit like how many times you cheated. If I caught you one time is too many.
That I can handle the answer to, even period. Even when I'm first starting out, first dating, whatever it is, like only ask questions that I can handle the answers to for my man that I love and all this.
And that you're ready to do something about. Don't ask it if you're not ready to do something about it.
Well, even if I ask my man today and he says, yeah, I'm cheating, either I'm gonna let him continue cheating in peace or I'm gonna leave. It's gonna be one or the other. It ain't gonna be like a whole like drawn out situation. Like, no, because I'm a real black and white type of person. I don't like gray area. It drives me fucking crazy. It's either this or it's fucking that. And that's just how I am with it. And yeah, that's why I left. I mean, my husband cheated on me and I left. That was it. You know what I'm saying? But
today, you were younger. What do you think you don't think you could tolerate a little bit more?
Nah, if my husband cheated today, if I had a husband and he cheated today in my home, I would still leave because I wouldn't respect him anymore.
Yeah, that's extreme. That's definitely,
you know what I'm saying?
Extreme. Yeah.
So in that situation, yeah. But if I found out, like I dated a ball player, he played overseas, and if I found out that he had got some vagina while over there, I'm not gonna leave him.
Why? Why is that excusable?
Because I'm not there, and men have needs. I'm not a cheater, but I don't know.
Why can't we hold them at the same standard? Because just because I'm in
whatever your standard is.
Yeah. So if I have a standard for myself that, hey, I'm not going to cheat on you, so and I can withhold that, and I'm enticed. I have just as many men.
I just feel like it's just a physical thing. It's not an emotional thing. Like you just got some pussy while you was overseas. I don't look at it like, oh, you had a whole family over.
No, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you that it's just that's more physical than emotional. And for women, an emotional attachment is way worse than a physical attachment. Like,
I don't want you spending money on this bitch either. I just
but I don't want you sleeping with different women. I'm not
I don't
gonna
want you
say
bringing
that
me
out loud.
baby and no STDs or the embarrassment.
I
Like,
don't want you sleeping. I'm not giving you permission to sleep with no fucking body.
yeah.
This, at the end of the day, if you decide you want to cheat on me, don't get caught. That's it. Don't get caught. And it's not, because I'm not gonna tell you that, oh, you can go get your dick sucked overseas.
No, you would never say that. Don't ever say that to your husband or
I'm
boyfriend.
not going to even find out and confront you about it, because
no.
I'm giving you when I accept that one time, I'm giving you permission to do it again.
Exactly.
Like, shit,
that's what I'm saying.
So none of it's okay. None of it's okay. None of it's
I'm not leaving if you have a one-off. Me
what if the one-offs turn?
I don't know, like, huh? What if
one-offs turn into 7-offs?
With the same girl? That's an affair, ho. Bye. Go be with her.
Different girls. So it's okay as long as they're all different?
Recent? All recent?
Yeah. Like,
no.
Over time.
I'm out. I'm out.
What's the number of times, like, you're like, oh, if he got his dick sucked overseas, I wouldn't trip?
I'm probably not going to know about all of them, to be honest.
Well,
like, how do you know about all of them? If I find out that he got dick sucked by a girl, I'm not going to leave him for that. If I find out...
And then in 2 months, it happens again. Because he in Costa Rica playing, and he does it again. And then his next season, he in Zimbabwe playing, and he does it again. When he doesn't have an emotional attachment, I'm not leaving him over there. Girl, bye.
I'm not leaving him over there.
Because he's leaving you. You suck one dick.
He ain't gonna find out.
He leaving you.
He ain't gonna find out. You never know. Let me just ask one question before we wrap up here. Y'all, please follow us on Instagram at The Pretty Ugly Struggle, and on Facebook at The Pretty Ugly Struggle, and on YouTube, The Pretty Ugly Struggle Podcast. We upload every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. and every Friday on YouTube. So please check us out, y'all. Before we go, let's step into the advice section. These questions are coming from Reddit. Until we have you guys write into us at our email, is it prettyuglystruggle@gmail.com for advice or to nominate a pretty girl or pretty boy of the week. So this question comes from Reddit. It says, I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years, but we do not live together. What's something I should look forward to when we move in together? And what's something I should be aware of? What do you think? What should I look forward to when moving in with my boyfriend?
I have no idea. I've never lived with a boyfriend.
Okay.
Like, I've never lived with a boyfriend. Nope, I'm taking that back. I was 18, 19 when I lived with Kalia's dad. But no, I've never lived with a boyfriend. So at 20, she said she's 22. The other age. A good time, a lot of sex in the beginning.
In the beginning.
When y'all move in together, in the beginning, you have sex all the time because you're like, ooh, we can do it as many times as we want. It's our house, you know. And yeah,
damn, I was opposite. Maybe I think because I was a new mom when I first moved in with my daughter's dad. I was just so wrapped up in being a mother and being like the perfect mother for her. I kind of forgot about my husband, to be honest. That's kind of why I don't blame him for cheating, because I kind of did just like leave a nigga hanging or whatever. Yeah. But since then, I have not lived with a man, and I think now that people should live together before they get married, just so they know what the fuck they dealing with. I will say that, because before, years ago, I was like, no, I just want to be married, then move in and be so fresh and so new and da 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 da. Now I'm like, nah, I need to know what the fuck I'm dealing with. So what you have to look forward to is seeing your man every day, cuddling, cooking, all the little cute little shit y'all see on the movies. And what you should be aware of is his dirty drawers, him snoring.
All the little things that are going to get on your nerves.
Get on your goddamn nerves.
All those little things. It's going to be something you're going to start to see about this person that you did not see when you did not live with them.
So I want to say you should have like a weekly family meeting, even if it is just you two, just discuss like some things that are going great and some things that you would like to work on as a couple. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's good, but at 22, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I even at 36, I probably would.
Now at this age, I'm like, I don't know about weekly, but maybe monthly.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
monthly. Okay.
paying for that. Because I'm big on communication. I'm a people pleaser, so I need you to tell me what you like so I can do it. Otherwise, I'm caught up. I'm only thinking about what I like.
Look at you.
So,
She's so narcissistic. Are you a narcissist?
no, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled.
Very
It's a
spoiled.
difference. Very
Like,
spoiled.
I had to think like I may be slightly narcissistic, not even realizing it. But yeah. That's our advice for you. And
I said, if you are running your jeans.
I think I do have a little bit just from dealing with someone that is narcissistic, and I am very fucking spoiled. Don't ever tell me no to nothing, goddamn me. Which is probably why I'm single, guys.
Let's wrap it up. Let's do
This has
Pretty
been
Guy
a
of the Week.
beautiful week of the Pretty Ugly Struggle podcast. We love you guys so much.
We didn't do Pretty Guy of the Week.
We don't have one. Do I have one? You have one?
No, I did the Pretty Girl.
Either.
Well, sorry,
We
Phil.
put it on our list. I'm so sorry, guys.
Sorry, Kings.
We love all you pretty guys out there.
Yeah. Sorry, Kings. We wasn't on our shit.
We'll catch you next week. We'll double up next week.
We're gonna double up for you next
week. We're gonna double up. We love you guys so much. Join us next week on the Pretty Ugly Struggle podcast. I'm your girl, B.Hall.
And I'm your girl, Conni Luv. See you next week. Okay.